Get in my way. What is going? Oh, there's a fan on. Now I'm gonna sweat. Jeez. What is going on, everyone, and welcome to Kart 63. My name is Ben. Thank you very much for stopping by. Real quick, if you didn't mind hitting a like on this video, possibly subscribe to the channel, that would be fantastic. Kart 63 is brought to you by TrackTac Tire Treatments, Burris Racing Tires, BeardOctane.com, 5.3 Titanium. Yeah, I got it. And JC Specialties. So this is after the live. You guys don't care. We did a live stream. We always do it, I'm going on vacation. We're not always going to. We had a live stream today at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on this Kart channel, called Dirt Kart Racer Live. And I had mentioned that I was going to do a video on Maxxis, or Maxxis, whatever you want to call them. I don't care. They are my Achilles heel. So I thought, for those of you who don't run Maxxis, for those of you who do run Maxxis, this would be a funny / informational video for you. Maxxis, the the tire that has given me the biggest woe in UAS so far. I just don't know the tire. There's nothing wrong with the Maxxis. I've stated time and time again, I love all tires. I like them all. I don't care if it's a Maxxis, if it's a Reaper, if it's a Burris, if it's a Vega, if it's a whatever. AJC, pick a tire. I just don't, being up north where I am, I just don't get to run them as much as other people. Now, I had talked to Chris Harris. Last week, I was asking some questions about, some preps here, preps there, his track tech. And I had said to him, I was just like, man, Maxxis are not my thing. And he's like, oh, Maxxis are easy. If you don't run them, they're not. So, you can, this video is going to be, like I said, funny, it's like informational. Please be down in the comments. If you think that I say something wrong, if I have heard something wrong, if I'm not relaying that information correctly, please correct me. There's no shame here. I have no problem admitting when I'm wrong, but this is what the knowledge that I have. So I feel like I should be holding on to a Maxxis. All right, this is a Maxxis. Now, from what I know, the process of a Maxxis has to do, I don't know in what order. So, you mount the Maxxis. That makes perfect sense. You're going to put it on a rim. Okay, this tire needs to be scuffed, not scuffed on a tire machine. Now, you can surface the tire, no problem. If you want to cut the tire, cool. Put it in a tire machine to cut it, hand cut it, whatever that may be. But from what I know about the Maxxis tire is they need to be scuffed on track. Now, Tatum, a super duper south, he had made mention that you don't want to scuff them on asphalt. So don't be taking your Maxxis tires and going out onto your road and scuffing them. I'm not saying it won't work. As a matter of fact, I don't even know. He just had said that to me, or not to me, but he said it in the video. I was like, oh, because he was rolling around on concrete, and he's like, I wonder if this works or not. I would assume so. I don't know what the difference would be between, what the aggregate or whatever is happening to the tire between asphalt and concrete. But in general, you want to go out and you want to run these tires on track. I don't even know how many laps to get a good stuff on them. What you want to do is make this tire work and get it into its process of ridding some of the oils in it to toughen the tire up. Now, here's my confusion. That's going to fall over. Here's my confusion in what order to do this. Now, you may have heard the terms, you want a three-week tire. an 8-week tire, a 10-week tire. What are they speaking about? I believe this to be true. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is a roll on the inside. You're doing your scuffing. You're mounting them. You're scuffing them. Your internal prep is going to be rolled from the inside out. You're going to put them in your hot box. You're going to put them on your tire rotisserie, whatever it is. That date in which you roll them is now whatever week tire. I think I could be wrong. It could be a date code on the tire, but I don't think so. Maybe I've always known Maxxis to be not like a Reaper or a Burris. I say Reaper now because I believe the Reaper is becoming like a Burris. I think that date codes are becoming a more desired thing with the Reaper tire, much like the Burris. If you're up north here and we run a lot of Burris or the Midwest or anything, you're not going to want 2025s. You're going to want 2024s, 2023s. You're going to want something with a little more season. I don't believe Maxxis to be that way, but I believe Maxxis to need time to you need time to mount them. You need time to scuff them. They need to be seasoned. They need to be setting for a certain amount of weeks. It may be weeks. It may be months. I don't know that exact process, but I know that I've heard those terms. Hey, you want this week tire. You want that week tire. I'm assuming that is a roll or a re-roll of prep from the inside out. Now, as far as the outside goes, so you mounted the tire, you scuffed the tire, you internaled the tire, whatever, from away from whatever race is coming up. You've got all that. I believe there to be a process of at least once a week, if not a couple times a week, depending on, and we'll get into the week of. But I believe that people are taking those sets of tires. They've done all this stuff up to that point. They have, and now they're wiping at least once a week something like Ruby, something to a conditioner type of prep. Nothing, overly aggressive unless it's like a goat tire. Then maybe you're keeping up on the goat, keeping that permeated through the tread. If it's a more aggressive prep, whatever it is. I believe that to be keeping the oils in the tire. So whatever they're made out of, this is just to keep things fresh, to keep the tread, still kind of bit up type of thing. Now, when you get to the race week, from what I know, because these are my Achilles heel, this is something that I'm not used to. I hear that you wipe whatever it is that, desired durometer, maybe whatever aggressive amount of bite you want put in the tire, you're wiping every single day. I don't know how many coats. I'm not sure about that. That seems like the way the way I'm saying it right now, it seems like an excessive amount. I think to someone new, and hence this video, it does sound like a lot. But I think once you have done a couple sets, once you are Maxxis Racing, you develop, a backlog of tires that have been run, that have been scuffed, that have been prepped, that maybe they need a re-roll, maybe they need to be flipped. That is also another thing with, Maxxis Tires. Typically, a Maxxis tire is run on a track that is hot, fast, black line. You're going to eat through the inner edge on your right rear or your left rear. You're going to want to flip that tire. I did it to... This is very unprofessional of me. I did it to this tire. So, I did this. This is a 2023 Maxxis. I did this at Hunterstown. This edge was here. I had since flipped that tire, and you can do that with Maxxis. I think you can do it with any tire, but it is definitely something that if you are a Saturday night racer, if you need a set of practice tires, if you need, you don't want to use your best of the best, the 6-week-old tires that you have specially prepared for that particular day, I think that you're going to want to flip your tires and run a nice clean edge on a set you've already run. So this, I think the process becomes easier the more you're into it. Now, one might hear this video, one might watch this video and say, man, Maxxis seemed like a lot of work. Well, I think that the the opposite. You can, if we're going to go tire versus tire, like, Reaper's in direct competition with it. At least from my experience, it looked to me like Reapers take a lot more work at the track. Like, you do all your work to a Maxxis prior to an event to make it fast, and then the day of, pick whatever you're wiping. Black sand and acrosol. Okay, wipe. Depending on, what the track conditions are, maybe it's 2 wipes, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 10. Who knows? But whatever work that you did the tire is to that. I don't think you need to sand them. I don't think that you need to worry about cutting them at track, which I saw with a Reaper. I think that there is more work to be done with a selection of tires with the Burris or the Reaper at the track. Now, you're taking out what you have to do to them prior to that, to whereas the Maxxis is, but it's already the people down south will, I've heard it a million times. If you want the fastest tire down south on hard bit up stuff, the Maxxis tire is going to be that tire. It's going to be the tire of choice. So there's that. Okay, sorry about that. I needed to wet the whistle. Very unprofessional of me. I am sorry. So, what have I done with Maxxis? I got 2025s here. I have one set of 2025s. The reason I'm even bringing this up is I'm taking Maxxis to the UAS Grand Nationals. They're in Iowa. I fully expect that I'm going to take all my tires with me. I'm going to take some Burris. I'm going to take some Vegas. I'm going to take obviously the Maxxis. I think it's probably going to go Maxxis. I will mention this. I don't talk about Maxxis whites a lot because I don't know anything about them. From what I hear, they are a competitor to the Vega Yellow. I think that would be fantastic. I think that because in UAS, I'm used to really laying the prep to a tire. I'm really used to laying the prep to a Vega and making it work and do what I want it to do. I eventually would like to get my hands on some Maxxis whites to experiment with them at the bare minimum. So why haven't I brought up specifically when I'm talking about Maxxis, I'm talking about pinks and blues. Why hadn't I brought up the whites? I haven't run them. I don't know anything about them. All it is kind of hearsay. Now, my experience so far, I've not been bad on Maxxis. They're my Achilles heel. I just don't run them enough. So I do very minimal stuff to them. Like I know it's a lot of people do CCs internally. If I'm running a Maxxis, if I'm taking it down south, I tend to run on the lighter side of things. I will run 2 ounces in the right sides. I will run 1 ounce in the left sides, and then I will do work from the outside. There you go. And it's always to this point, I have not gone through the process of what I just explained to you. I have not gone through the process of scuffing them. I have not gone through the process of letting them set. I have treated them like I would treat a Burris, like I would treat a Vega. I roll them, I mount them, I roll them, I run them. That's what I tend to do up here, unless you're talking about, pulling out an older Burris tire, which is not internally rolled at all. So what have I done to them? I'm very light on the outside. I give them a scuff on the outside. I need to scuff them on track, and that's why I just mounted up these brand new set 2025s. The 2023s have already been on track. They have already been scuffed. Not going to do that to them. They have already been seasoned for a couple years on my shelf right over there. So I'm not going to do that to them. But what am I going to do? I'm going to be internally rolling these tires. All of them. They're all going to get a treatment, and they're going to get some love leading up to the next race. Now, is this correct? I don't know, but I'm sure as heck going to find out. I can't keep doing the same thing. I can't keep, falling back on this, Maxxis aren't my thing. I have to do something different. So what I just haphazardly explained to you, I'm going to attempt to do. The tires are mounted. I don't know in which order, if people like to roll them internally first and then scuff them, or scuff them and then internally roll them. I'm going to do it that way. I'm going to scuff them first. I'm gonna put them on the tire machine, just get the outside off, because I don't like putting stickers on a dirt track. It's just never been my thing. I like to at least surface them a little bit, open that tire up. I'm gonna take them down, I'm gonna get some laps on them, put them away. or clean them up and set them to the side and bring them back, and then I'm going to totally roll them. And then from there on out, I probably wipe them a little bit getting into the Nationals, and then, break them out in Nationals, and hopefully I nailed it. I don't know for certain, but I thought I've been holding back on this video because I learn little bits of things here and there. And just being somebody from up north, somebody who does not run a Maxxis, I don't have the experience. So it's hard for me to say, but what I can do is offer you this video. I can say to you, this is the process as I know it and why people do it. And then here's what I've done and how I intend to fix it. I intend to be, I hear of people being a little more aggressive. So chances are, when I go to internalize these tires here, knowing that it's a track that I don't believe is going to be super hard and fast, I believe it's going to be hard to get a hold of. I'm probably going to be a little more aggressive on the insides of these tires. I really do wish I had some whites, but I can't. Listen, I got to afford gas and hotel room and food, and it's 12 and a half hour trip. I ain't being not buying any new tires for this race. I know I should. I know it's an expense that everybody, but I think I have enough to get by with what I have here. So I don't want to run, right out and get some whites and start experimenting with something that I have no experience with. I mean, it's little experience as I have with the pinks and blues. I have this much with the whites, so it'd be tough for me. Although everything I've heard, they're like a Vega. I would treat them as such. I would do exactly to them what I would do to a Vega and make them behave accordingly, I would hope. But anyway, there you go, guys. It's a very difficult video for me to make. I had been holding out for so long because of it. And please, I'm not even kidding in the slightest. If you have some good constructive criticism for anything I just said, if you have constructive or you have any comments that would help our fellow kart racer who has not run a Maxxis before, he's thinking about going to a Maxxis track. He's going to, they're going to a big money race and they need to run Maxxis. Please, correct me or say, hey, do this before this. We've had better luck running this instead of this. You don't have to give up your whole ghost. You don't have to, tell us your entire program, but it would be nice in order to hear from you, hear people with a little more experience with the Maxxis brand to tell people, at least get them pointed in the right direction. That's all I ask. That's all, I in this channel in general, wow, is to get people pointed in the correct direction. It doesn't mean you have to give them all your speed secrets, what you're exactly doing to the tires, what to wipe on them at what point in time, but I think that we all need to help. We need to help the people that don't know, at least basically understand, and then once they get the basis there, they can, develop their own program and go from there. So, just my opinion on that. Hopefully this helps. I don't know. It's this video's been a long time coming, and I didn't know how it was all going to come out. But since I've been working, I mounted a whole bunch of Maxxis today. I figured, what better time than now to do this video and get it out to the public, being that I am going to be experimenting here and hopefully nailing what needs to be nailed. That was weird. Anyway, I am going to close out the video now before I say anything more ridiculous. Kart 63 is brought to you by Track Tack Tire Treatments, Burris Racing Tires, BeardOctane.com, 5.3 Titanium, and JC Specialties, where you can buy lots of these products, and Maxxis Tires. Burris Tires too, but also Maxxis Tires. That I will probably be, I haven't taken my Burris though. I'm taking everything I can get on a stick. If you've never seen, I put somebody did mention that. I want to get some PVC and make some the bigger stuff would go through the center and make my sticks, anyway. Just an idea, sorry. Squirrel. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you coming by. Thank you very much for all the support. And I am going to do a video for next week. It might be something impromptu for next Sunday, but I'm going on vacation. It's going to be a bit tough to get a video done. I'll do my best. It may be a little impromptu. Maybe I'll do just a car talk or something like that going down to the track. Something like that. Anyway, I appreciate you all coming by, and I'll catch you later. Bye.